Oh, you want to know something crazy? Where I live, it's like almost 100 degrees outside. It is awful. It's awful. I have it set to like 77 in here, just because I don't want the AC to die. And I'm dying, man. Oh my lord. I'm so fucking miserable in this weather. I'm in my house, there's AC all around me. It's depending on the room, you know. My bedroom is the coldest room because that's where the AC is the strongest, right? It's probably like 60 something degrees in there. Once I leave that room, I'm in fucking misery in the rest of this house, because the rest of the house is somewhere fluctuating between 74 and 78 degrees. And it's fucking killing me. I hate this weather so fucking much. I fucking despise it. In fact, like, I've been trying to do things for the past 2 days, and I have, like, even in an air-conditioned home, I have no energy. I wanted to read. I'm sitting there reading, like, a book, and I'm like, fuck this. I wanted to write. I tried to write. I said, fuck this. And I tried to paint or to draw. Fuck that. I didn't want to do any chores. I didn't want to even watch TV. I was like, I am so miserable. I just want to lay here and just die. I am not made for this fucking weather. I am so very, very happy that I live in the north, where this shit is not a common occurrence. But golly, dude. I will not step foot outside. Fuck that. Unless I absolutely have to. It's like 90... I think it's probably like 95 out there right now. Someone's watching going like, oh, that's nothing, you know? Like, yeah, well, I'm a true white man. I don't fuck with this shit. I don't mess around out there in that junk. One of these days, man, if I ever get money, I'm going to move to a place where the hottest it gets is 50 degrees. And I'm going to be happy as hell. I don't care if it's overcast sky. I might as well move to Scotland. Because I love the overcast. I love the rain. I love the fucking... Because people are weird and they don't like that shit. So they stay away from that shit. Which means I can be happy. Not hear all the assholes outside talking about going to the lake. Anyway, that's just a little thing. I just hate this weather so much and I couldn't hold that in anymore. So, what have we done? How many pages did I just do? I did not do all that, did I? Yes, okay. We're getting there when it comes to the next Forgotten Series episode. I know it's been over 3 months and shit, but where the book ended, where the episode ended, where Dove is like, I'm Harrius and I'm in the universe is my tomb or whatever the fuck, remember? Well, I had to go and write what comes next. And I said, well, I gotta tell you how, I told you this a shit ton times before. Dove and the guy get to a point where they discover that Harrius is something outside of everything they know, and he's in the universe, and the universe is a tomb, and he's a god named Harrius. Well, I got to get you up from how Harrius became that thing, and I thought this should be maybe an episode or two, just a kind of quick jaunt, real quick. And as I was telling the story, the model that I had was a series of dreams. So a lot of the book I write, and subsequently a lot of the stories of the Forgotten, are all dreams I had that I'm remanifesting, re-going through and puzzle piecing them together into a concise story. So you could say the Forgotten series is a series of dreams that I once forgotten and I'm reimagining. And that's what it is. I'm just trying to put them in order, because some dreams I had 10 years ago, and that's happening in this section. But this dream I had yesterday, but it needs to happen here, you know. But then the dream I had 3 days ago is actually something that happens in the future, you know. It's a whole fucking thing. Don't ask me why I'm doing it. I just feel inclined to do it. It's like fucking Celtic shit in me. And as I was doing that, I got writing this story. I just put my head down and I went through this. And it turned from a few pages into many pages into, it's only about 30 something pages so far. I'm going to say by the end of this, it'll be about 40 something pages, and that's part 1. That's over 20,000 words, and I'm just thinking to myself, oh God, this has gotten much bigger than I had anticipated. This is shit that I always do to myself. I'm in the middle of a forgotten series. I'm finally telling my version of my Silmarillion before I tell you the real story. And I had to finally come to terms with it and create it. And then I get to a point, and now I have to tell you, well, how the universe came to be. And in doing that, I've discovered it's a lot deeper than I thought. It's crazy to me. It is. So I wrote what I thought was book 1 of The Forgotten. It's this fucking story. And the story is like me. It's just my life. And I went through my late teens into my 20s, and I finished book 1. I was in the process of writing book 2 when I realized I don't know who I am. Do you remember the writing series? That's me in the process of writing book 2. Check out on the playlist section of the channel where it says the writing series. Then you can see what I'm talking about. I realized that I needed to figure out who the hell I am. So I created the Forgotten series. That is the story of how, I always say, think of it like the Silmarillion. I'm just telling you the Silmarillion real quick. Let me just tell you how the Balrogs came to be, and Iluvatar and all that fucking shit. The Discord and, you know, whatever, I don't know. In that process, it has been the journey of self-discovery, masked as a goddamn story. To where we discover that all the characters are actually different people inside the mind of God. And he's imagining his own story coming to surface. And that's where I am right now. I'm in the heart of this shit, where I'm planning out all of it. And I must say, I really, really wish I could enjoy this. I never do enjoy it. I don't know why. I'm not sure why, but I have a really hard time enjoying writing. I always have, and I probably always will, because when I'm sitting down typing the story, there's this feeling of like, oh, I don't want to fucking do this. I don't want to do it. The whole time. That's always what it's like. It's very rare that I'll have a moment where I'm just typing the story out and I'm not like feeling like shit. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. I don't know what to do about that. I've just accepted it. I've accepted that story writing is painful and not very enjoyable. I think it's because I don't really want to be a writer, but I gotta be a writer. I have no other choice in the matter. I don't know exactly what it is. It's my life, that's all I can say. And because it's my life, I am kind of blind to it, where you probably listening are like, oh, obviously it's this, you know. You know how it always is. It's always like that. Someone's gonna tell you something, and it's gonna be so obvious, and you're gonna be like, oh, why didn't I think of that? It's almost like my life is distracting. So anyway, that's been an ongoing process, and I'm a few more pages. I will be able to end part 1. Intermission. Part 2, you know. I'm going to do that. I'm going to release part 1 once I can get it fully on the computer and edit it and all that shit, and I'll tell you the story of Harrius from beginning to the end of part 1. Then we'll move into part 2. I don't think there's not really going to be a lot of voice acting in this. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see what comes from it. Oh my goodness, we shall see. Well, besides that, we got a shit ton of books. We went to a cool bookstore. Got a bunch of cool books. And I finished this book, Lanark, Alistair Gray. Best book I've ever read in my entire life. I may reread it again soon because it was that good. I've never said that before in my life, that I'm going to reread a book. This is the greatest book I've ever discovered. Highly recommend it. Fantastic. You know what I'm trying to read right now? Ulysses by James Joyce. Do you want to know how I feel about it? It's fucking annoying. Like, I'm only in chapter 2, and like, I am just so annoyed at the word choices and all that shit that I'm almost pissed off by it. I want to enjoy it because it just sounds cool on paper, but as I'm getting into that fucking book, I'm just like, this is like, I don't want to say pretentious, but I just feel like, dude, just tell me a fucking story. Let's play games here. So I'm trying to do that, and I'm just having a real hard time with it. So I have a couple other books that I'm trying to read, and I'm also getting annoyed. I'm sick of it, you know. I'm in one of those moods where I can't do anything. I don't want to read or write or watch anything or draw. I don't want to do anything. Just in that fucking mood where I just want to sit and look at the ceiling for a few days. I don't know why, but I assume it's the heat, because heat, this is fucking annoying. I've always been like this with it. I can't wait for it to be winter. That's all I can say. I cannot wait. Cold, not a big deal. Put a coat on. This shit. Oh my lord. But suffice to say, even though I'm in absolute misery, I did churn out the last part 1, at least on the typewriter, and we're going to copy it over to the computer. And that's that. What else can I say? How can I entertain you now? What do you want to hear? I don't know. Want to hear me bitch about the world again? I read one line in this book here called The Varieties of Religious Experience. And it's the psychology of religion. And it said something along the lines of faith is kind of this response, if you will, or is this action of people trying to cling on to life. Faith is the idea of you wanting to continuously live in this world, because when you remove like mainstream religion from your life, which is all that's forced on you, you have very little want to live in this world. Atheism, you could say, if you want to call it that, or agnosticism, is that what that's called? Really helps you really want to commit suicide, apparently. And in saying that, religion is the tool that we use to keep us here. Because there's objectives. It's like a video game. It's like religion gives you objectives. It gives you commandments. It gives you rules and guidelines. It gives you something to look forward to, the end quest. It gives you something to obtain, you know, the journey along the way. It does all this stuff to make you feel good, to make you want to do things and shit. And the older I get, the more I'm noticing that myself too. And I wonder if once that's pulled from your life, what void was left afterwards? When you, okay, let me say because I don't know other people's experiences. When you pull yourself away from, as we understand it in our modern era, there are only a select group of religions in the world, apparently. I don't know how many, right? Taoism, Buddhism, Christianity of all its different sects, and the Islam, Jews, and you name it, man. Like, those are the big ones, right? And then there's all those other little ones, you know, like Zoroastrianism is still kicking around, you know. But that's kind of all we understand. Like, we think that, like, it's just these hardcore things because that's how life is, right? There's only one true God, and ours is the most truest of them all, says everybody. But when you pull yourself away from that, you see it, like I said, like a fucking game. You see it like a board game, or like just a book or some shit. And you go, woof, that's crazy. But in that, it's like shattered. And all the pieces are laying there on the table because you shattered these religions in your mind, and you see they're all fragments of something old and greater, right? That's kind of the idea, that all of these religions, all borrowed from shit, stole from other shit, to create the perfect religion that's undoubtable, unquestionable, because its perfection was forged through the years of taking from other things, right? The Jews took all the stuff from Zoroastrianism and Greek philosophy and mythology and their own shit, and you know, and then they forged this religion, and Christianity took it even further, you know, a bunch of fucking things. And you see that, and so you wonder to yourself, like, well, what was before all that, right? we call it paganism, right? Just things that existed before these religions. Very personal gods. Gods of the harvest, gods of sex, and gods of fucking the waters, or whatever, like they had this idea. Once you kind of go into that, you see that these gods are representations of whatever the archetype is when one thinks about it. When I think about fertility, all of the things that me and my culture, and my clan, and my village, or whatever group of people there are, what we've intuited is fertility, manifests itself in each of us, collectively into the one, a being, some sort of being that we represent with fertility. Or crops, or, you know what I'm saying, like the river gods, or some shit, whatever your culture needs. They become these archetypes, so when you think about them, it manifests this face. So now I can't sit here, like if I want to really focus on fertility because I'm trying to have a child, I want to focus on a being, right? Well, if I see a face, if I see a god, I'm like, this is easier. So when I devote prayer and ritual to it, it's in some way enabling me to feel it in myself. And in that feeling of in myself, I can manifest it. Think of it like a placebo effect in a way. I can manifest what I need. I think that's what it's all about, okay? I don't know if this is true or not, but this is just kind of what I'm gathering here, right? I don't know. It's okay if you hear that and you say, about it, you know what I mean, whatever, I don't care. I don't know if that's what it is. It just feels that way to me. It's just constructs in our mind that we've manifested into being, to put it very simply. That's what gods are. It was complex, it was more nature driven, that's why there was a multitude of them that served a multitude of purposes. The modern era, we've become worshippers of ourselves, so we only want to believe in one God, and it's separate from the world. It's a God of man, right? That makes so much sense by what we're doing to our world. We're separating from it. We're no longer living in tune with it. We're living outside of it, and we create our cities and all that shit. Well, we only need one God now. Fuck that shit. He takes care of it all. Sky Father, Earth Daddy, or whatever the fuck. That's what modern religion seems to be. Western. Eastern, I don't know. I didn't grow up in fucking the east of the world, so I can't really say what Buddhism and Taoism, that seems more of that ilk, but they went a different way with it in some way, shape, or form. I don't necessarily know. So that's kind of what I've been gathering in that fragmentation when I shatter the illusions. I'm like, man, I can see these fragments of it. So in some way, when I think of my story and I think of Harrius, I have to come to terms with that idea, fragment it, and find purpose to create the Titans and all that stuff later. Hence why I'm thinking of this shit. It's got to come up, so I got to kind of figure this shit out before I really write about it. That place, one can feel the loneliness. It seems like, if I were to put it into a metaphor, you're floating in the void of space. You've taken yourself away from life-giving things, and you're floating above derelict planets that are too far from the sun, that are having their own interesting things going on. Volcanoes or weird rivers of fucking mercury or shit. There's things going on, they're reacting, but you're not near what you knew, and you're floating adrift. Inside that exploration of the void, it is a very, very, very lonely place. And you can often want to give up because it's going to be long. I know damn well this journey I'm on is going to be way longer, and I'm going to be in the more deepest, darkest depths of despair that I'll ever experience right now. It's going to get worse, I know. Doesn't mean it won't get better, but I know it will get worse. That's okay, I'm ready for that shit. But some days I feel it, like today, and I'm tired and I don't want to do anything. I'm trying my best to fight it and do something, but, it happens. Because what I in turn have to do is I can't turn to something. I've long passed that. I can't turn to interests like video games or books, or even bigger things like religion and philosophy. Like, I can't turn to these things for comfort anymore. There is no longer comfort there. We've left that shit. We're on our fucking own, floating with all we have, and that is our understanding. And so it kind of feels a little bit trepidatious. Like, when I try to read something, sometimes I'm just like, oh, fuck this. I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why, but I am. I'm tired of shit. And so what I'm trying to drive at is, when I see these archetypes, this religion, this faith of wanting to, is the idea, the response to keep on living. And when it has faith in a construct, it brings forth the idea that it's worth living. One true God who only wants your love and devotion and will save you from this turmoil. Well, if you have faith to that, it makes it a little easier to keep going, because you know, like, oh, someone's got my back. I got Jesus on my side, and I got his dad on my side. We're chill. I just got to be good, and I'm invited into their house later. So in some way, you have something that you're striving for. You relinquish yourself, and you say, I'm a dirty, grubby little sinner, and I'm not good enough, and I can't do anything on my own. I need God to do everything. You do that well enough, and bada boom, bada bing, you live your life, you're fulfilled, you've helped everyone along the way, and there you sit in the kingdom of heaven, because you did it right. That's something that no matter how dark it gets, at least you got that to think about. And so it serves its purpose for humanity. Whether it no longer serves it, I don't know. Whether there's truth to it, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if that's just for the people of that region and we think it's for everyone when it really isn't. As if gods do focus on regions. Those are stories for the people in the Middle East, not for us. Don't know. It feels that way, but I can't say that's true or not. All I know is, when I look into it, I don't feel any comfort, and it feels like I'm reading an alien book. Is that my hang-up? That's for someone else to decide if they really care. I can only say, if you were to define me as faithless, I wouldn't say you're wrong. And moving in this world seems to be a hardship in and of itself. And all around me, there's this undying ire for mankind. I'm getting so sick of being out there in the world. I'm getting so sick of stupidity and excuses and more excuses, where everyone doesn't know something, or they're just a piece of shit, or they are lying to themselves and others, or they're pretending to be something they're not. I get fucking sick of that shit. I'm tired of it. There's a part of me that wants to call everyone out because I'm sick of their lies. But then there's another part of me that says, no, civilization can't stir the pot, like, let them be who they are. That's what freedom is, right? And that's just on a small scale. I recently found out, I think my parents told me, I thought they were talking about back in the 2000s, but I guess Iran or something. And there, I don't know what happened, but we bombed someplace in Iran, I guess. And I was like, why did they do that? And I guess it had something to do with, was it nuclear weapons or something? Something along those lines. They did something, and now there's a whole ass thing going on. And I just, what does my mind immediately think? Like, please leave me out of it. Please leave me out of your fucking faggot games you're playing. I don't give a fuck. Please leave me out of it. My country that I belong to, the United States of America, is the biggest bully in the fucking world. And it's like they keep putting their fucking, they're like England. Keep putting their fucking finger closer and closer to you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. And the minute you like, get away from me, they're like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up now. That's where I come from. That's the country I live in. That's the shit we fucking do. And I just don't want to be a part of it. I just want to sit over here and be left the fuck alone with all that shit going on. I don't want to have my neighbors get all mad because some Iran shit's going on. Then they take it out on somebody, and then I get involved, and I get my ass shot because I'm like, hey guys, you're fighting over faggot shit that doesn't make any sense. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'll get caught up in even a small scale. Someone's mad because he doesn't like Nazis, and I know people that work at Tesla, and they find that out, and then they take it out on us because, you know, stupid shit. Stupid fucking shit. That's what I mean where I'm like, I don't want to get caught up. I don't want to get caught up. I don't want to play. I don't give a fuck. It means nothing to me. I'm just living my life here best I can. I'm not getting involved. And that's just how that is. That's my experience of life. I'm starting to feel that more and more. I'm chill when it's me. But when it's the outside pressures, I'm like, oh, Lord. But there's this response. So what is in response to wanting to keep living? What is the faith that I have? The devotion. Myself. Self-discovery. What's in here? I don't see prophets, messiahs, or whatever they're called, like people like Gandhi and shit. I forgot what they call those people. Mother Teresa or whatever. I don't look at them as that's that. They are what they are. I look at that as he did it, I can too. From a prophet in your Bible to someone striving to save someone's life. Like, that's all I'm trying to do. I don't think that they are the capsulated moment of that one thing, and the prophet Isaiah in the past, that's it. Like, no, he's an idea. And I think that is all I'm after, is to find what am I supposed to do? What is that thing deep inside me that I can blow out and put it into the world? I don't know yet. But a lot of the times I feel like I'm fighting and fighting and fighting to isolate myself away from whatever the fuck it is going on outside my home. And all I'm trying to do is quietly read in this library that is my home. And I just feel this immense stupidity surrounding me of people being fooled into thinking things that don't matter. It's upsetting. I don't know how to explain that any different way, but it's truly just foolish to me. And I really seek to find any sort of understanding within myself so that I may act it out into someone else's life. But it's not that easy sometimes. Sometimes it's incredibly difficult. Sometimes it's like trying to save an idiot from drowning, and every time you keep trying to reach your hand in, he's going to pull you in too. And you feel like, well, then I can't help you. There's nothing I can do for you. And you may have guilt in that, but you just keep trying. Whatever the fuck it is, you keep trying to do it. But I just feel very frustrated right now. Really frustrated with everything. And it's all because of this goddamn heat that it just brings it to a fucking head where I can't function happily until this heat wave goes away. But I figured in the meantime I would just kind of say how I feel about shit as honestly as I possibly can, so I can get back to whatever the fuck it is that I'm going to try to do for the day. Took me 5 hours to work up the energy just to write 3 pages. Hopefully I can work up the energy to maybe read a couple. Let me read this and see if it's connected, because sometimes shit like that happens. What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit. For that which befelleth the sons of men befelleth beasts. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. All are of the dust. Give me a minute to put my glasses on. All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. The dead know not anything, neither have they any more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love and their hatred and their envy is now perished. Neither have they any more a portion forever in anything that is done under the sun. Truly the light is sweet, and a pleasant thing it is for the eyes to behold the sun. But if a man live many years and rejoin in them all, rejoice, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. In short, life and all its negations are beaten up inextricably together. But if the life be good, the negation of it must be bad. Yet the two are equally essential facts of existence. And all the natural happiness thus seemed infected with a contradiction. The breath of the sepulchre surrounds it. You gotta take that good with that bad, you know? That's why I always say when I do these videos, and I might have a video where it sounds like I'm pissed off or irritated, well, because I fucking am. But I take it in stride and I say, in and out. Can't always fucking keep breathing in all the time. Eventually I gotta breathe out. Breathing in is the idea of positivity. Breathing out is negativity, you know? It's okay. Right now I'm absolutely bloody irritated with fucking people and their stupid games. I'm sick of politics, I'm sick of the world, and I'm sick of fucking religion, and I'm sick of all this shit. Right now. Eventually I'm gonna have to breathe that shit out, you know? Like just and breathe back in again and find peace inside. I'm in the world, man. I'm living it every fucking day just along with you. Sometimes fucking people like that with their loud fucking stupid vehicles piss me the shit off. You know? Because, you know, when you get a vehicle, what's the first thing you do? I gotta make it loud. That should have pissed me the fuck off some days. Other days I don't even notice it. It's all what I allow to happen to me. So it's more than of an understanding to say, hey man, it's okay. Life flows on within you and without you. But sometimes you want to say, fuck you, dude. Because you're irritated. And it could be outside of you, or you could be irritated inside. I think today I was irritated with myself and how much of a lazy piece of shit I can be. Because that's the first thing I do when I don't accomplish something. Dude, you just had 3 days off already. This is your, you had 2 days off. This is your third. You're still lazy and tired? You just got up. Hour later, you want to go back to sleep again? Like, what the fuck's going on? Why are you so tired? I just think it's the heat. But, I don't know. We'll see. But that happens. It's okay. That's why they say sadness is upon me. It isn't me. You kind of embrace that shit. It's not fun. Life isn't always going to be positive, and that's alright. It sucks. Man, it really does. It sucks having a bad day by yourself. That's the worst thing ever. When you're alone and you're having a bad day. I'm alone a lot. I'm always fucking alone. My wife's gone all day. Comes home in the PM times. I'm always alone. But for me, it's like, I don't know. If I can't be alone, then who am I? Am I always someone else? I don't know. Anyway, I'm done. I think that's all I can really say about that. And we shall move into the next section of our lives. And I don't know what that'll be, but maybe I'll try to read. The sick soul. Oh, is that not accurate? Anyway, I shall see you next time. And have a nice day. And, you know, whatever you're going to do with your day, I don't know. Have a good one, though.